Hello, it's summer and it's hot and everything. And then I thought, I wonder if there's many of us who went to summer camp. Does anyone even know about it? Of course you know what it is, but you have no idea of how I experienced summer camp. It turned out to be a concentration camp. Make yourself comfortable. Now my father will tell you everything. I was a spindle man back then. I hung out in all the yards with my friends, stole plums, ate grasshoppers. But half of the summer passed and we got bored. All the days became the same. All the chores were done, and even in all the nearby reservoirs we had time to skim and sharp, and then came a hopelessness. The strap was over. And so once again we were sitting on the bar and was wondering what else we could do to entertain ourselves. Everyone tried to squeeze out something creative, but all we got out was nothing. On that dull note, we all went our separate ways. A few hours later, when I just got comfortable on the toilet, I get a message describing, "All get to the bar. I know what we have to do." And I finished my business. Nothing to do, I ran to this important meeting. Everybody came, and my friend had told us what was on his mind. "We're going to camp." "What?" I asked. "What camp? What are we in, first grade?" "Okay." Herman answered and opened the article, where the commercial was for the Albatross Company in red and white, promising endless fun, excellent 3 meals a day, and days on the beach. It's quite inexpensive, really. Although it was not for us to pay anyway, all the kids loved the idea, and we ran around to the parents to persuade them to go to camp. Of course, they didn't agree so easily and made us terms like take out the trash, wash dishes, and clean the room. All agreed, and in a couple of days, with tears in our eyes and an eagerness in our chests for adventure, we stood at the bus station and said goodbye to our parents for 10 days. The engine roared, the doors snapped open, and we rushed with a shout of banzai to meet the wild. Everyone laughed and joked along the way. It was a lot of fun. We chatted with the guys who were traveling with us. We bought our maps, but a couple of times we were made to realize that the trip wasn't going to be as pleasant as it appeared to be. First, when I was about to win again from the guy I was playing cards with, suddenly he couldn't take it anymore and just threw up on me. I reacted like a cat and almost managed to dodge it, but it hit me just a little bit. I tried to stay away from him until I got there in case he did it again. Secondly, as soon as we made a noise, our counselor immediately brought us down an avalanche of yelling, cursing, and hysterics. We immediately fell silent. It was already frightening to open our mouths again. How could she have been taken to watch the children in the first place? It was as if her nostrils had been ripped out and part of her brain was removed. She still had that look in her eye, always watching everyone, and the blood vessels in her eyeballs were inflated. They were about to burst and splatter on my already dirty t-shirt. Before camp, closer to nightfall, a deer came under our wheels. Yeah, we were not allowed to look at it because everyone was just taking pictures, but the psychiatrist yelled and drove us to the bus. We came tired because of the road and the beady-eyed neurotic, and now thought that we would be fed, drunk, but in fact, lace up to sleep. It's late. Are you kidding me? Tell me honestly, do you hate us? I saw my fist and was already in the room, and my neighbor was the only friend out of 4, but even that I thanked. There was some food in our bags. We ate quickly and lay down to sleep. The morning began with a klaxon wailing down the hall and the loud voice of a counselor banging on the floor with her metal heels. And what a breakfast it was, oh. My expectations were around maybe some muesli or sandwiches or something like eggs or something, steak and orange juice for lunch and fruit salad for dinner with a nice chicken. But I was bummed out, ended up with a concoction of leftovers in the morning. Same for lunch, only with peas, and dinner consisted of herb cutlet and some homemade juice. What the hell do you want us to do? Eat this stuff? Okay, in principle, we could snack up and stock up on food in the stores, which we had to sneak off to quietly while the psycho didn't see us. On one of those runs, we got burned by a guy from another squad. We got screwed. Later, I dragged him out and asked him to answer for his art, to which I got a beating for. And he started pissing. From that moment, he became my mortal enemy, and all of our battles would be legendary, as well as constant work for our action. And our units also did not get along. The missions were getting dumber and dumber each time. They made us grease the floors with tar so that there would be fewer holes, and it stank like hell. Then we had to use an ear stick to scrub the pads, and we also had a mini farm for cattle, so we cleaned it from like 6 a.m. with my enemy. I got soaked, and at the same time decided to ask this dude Why he and I constantly walk as if on nails. Couldn't we do this the right way? The guy replied that it was all because of his troop leader. She embarrassed him in front of everyone, and on every occasion for accidentally spilling soda on her when they got on the bus. I felt uncomfortable, remembering our psychotic. Oof, those eyes. Oh, those eyes. Okay, we're done. Enough of this humiliation. We need to even our odds and show that we're not worms either, I said. And we started to think of a plan to get everyone up in arms about our humiliation. And on the last day, we needed to do something special. Something could be savored for a long time. At first, I was afraid that the other prisoners wouldn't want to help us. But how surprised I was to find a whole army of people out to get blood. But golly, we look like the 300 Spartans. Too bad we didn't have red coats. Okay, now getting a bit off topic, sorry. I worked out a plan with an already former enemy, shared it with whomever I could, and then went up to Chang and so on. We need to make these suckers go through everything we went through, just like in Jiminy Cricket, 33 misfortunes. So, when we were scrubbing the toilet again, we pretended to have a problem with one stain that wouldn't come off. So we called the guards, pre-wetting the floor next to the toilet. The counselors came, began to move closer, and at one point, both slipped. And the coolest thing, with one of them, the phone flew out of her hand, did some serious somersaults and landed directly on the bottom of the toilet. Oh, it was grief, but it wasn't our fault, was it? Watch your step. The second time, it was even cooler. We were cleaning the mini farm, and again, the guards said, "What's wrong?" And we said, "There's a pig having a baby." They both got scared and quickly ran after us, as fast as they could. When I got there, I immediately rushed over to the pig lying on its side, so that my back was blocking everything with the words, "She's in labor, man. She's about to give birth." I pretended to deliver the baby, while my friend hid under the straw nearby and squealed like a pig. The counselors were stupefied. Apparently, we were playing the roles very well. I knew they wouldn't come any closer, so I crushed a bag of tomato juice in my hands for more realism, the splashes of which flew in all directions, and to them it looked like a hard slurry. One even fainted. And when we finished, I held the ground meat up to their eyes. That's when the other one fainted too. God forbid you should go through the same thing, but personally, I had a lot of fun with the whole idea. There were a couple of other pranks of the type where we told them they were people in black, and they got texts on told them that they were men in black, and then they got texts on their phones with the most appropriate content. Or when they decided to get some privacy on the beach, suddenly balloons filled with dead stuff would fly in from out of nowhere. But as I promised, we made a good one for dessert. We had to stay up all night, but we made it. As soon as it hit 5 a.m., all the squads came out into the hallway, and 10 klaxons screamed into the loudspeakers. As a result, absolutely all the counselors woke up screaming. I'm sure some of them even pissed themselves, but they didn't show it. When they came outside, they saw a roaring, huge crowd looking right at them. How's that for all sisters? I was hoping the windows would crack and we'd blame it on them, but all that cracked there was their psyche. When we finished the hooting, everyone went to their rooms, and at 6 a.m., the poor fellows tried to wake everybody up, but no one would wake up and their efforts were in vain. All in all, a concentration camp, but we still had fun from the heart, and there were no obstacles at the end, as I wish no obstacles for you too. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. If you liked the video, then please leave a like and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.